upper body assessment, scapular control, shoulder mobility. We're going to work on a movement pattern, a series of movements that's going to help you take control. And it's the most difficult thing for human beings to do. So I had 5 maybe hard cases all at the same time a number of years ago, and I tried what seemed like 100 things. It was countless. And I finally, after 10 months, figured out a movement pattern and then a series of steps. So it's a progression, and it works like magic. It takes some work, and it takes some effort, but it's fairly easy, and you just have to be consistent. So here's where we're going to start. We're going to see if you can pull your scapula back and together. So you can see the movement, this rotational point on the shoulder. It rotates forward and backward. Okay, so we're going to practice lifting the chest, rotating the hands and arms back, and the shoulders externally backward rotating and down as the rib cage tilts. Okay, so this is the movement that you're going to practice. And after you can master this movement, then the next step is to move the hands to this position in front of you. And then do the same thing. When your arms and hands are in a different position, the brain-body connection is a little more difficult. So we get used to this, and then we practice this. And when we get used to that, then the next step is to use a little bit of resistance. You could use a band wrapped around something, or if you have a machine, a cable machine, then we're going to put wrists on ribs, and now we're holding on to something instead of just our hands and arms being free. This movement. Then when that becomes easy, we have the cable on a lower angle, and we pull, just hands are hooks, arms are straight, and we pull the scapula and shoulders back and down. Lift, we're dragging the hands, lifting the chest, pulling the shoulders back and down. So this is our movement. We practice this. Now I've got a little bit of weight on there. And then when we get used to this, then we start to pull. I'm going to squat, just a little bit of a squat, just to manage my weight and my center of mass and counterbalance. So I'm not pulling my elbows, I'm not pulling my hands, trying to move them. I'm dragging, I'm pulling my shoulders back and down, I'm dragging my hands, and my hands end up in whatever position my contraction pulls them into, right? So my back contracts, my shoulders come back and down, and this is where I end up. So these steps need to be mastered before we start to pull in any other way. There's more exercises that this movement pattern is going to help us to do better, but we need to master these first.